What's going on, guys? So there's a pretty good chance you've seen one of my previous videos where we raced this 5.3 Silverado versus my old 6.2 Silverado. Well, now that I have a 5-liter F150, I figured we had to compare the two. So with a 5.3, you got 355 horsepower, 383 foot-pounds of torque, and with a 5.0, you have 400 horsepower and 410 foot-pounds of torque. So I know before you even leave that comment, that's a pretty big difference. It's kind of a giveaway on which truck should outperform the other. But this is the base V8 option from both manufacturers. Obviously, you can step up to the 6.2, which we're going to be doing a follow-up video comparing the 5.0 to the 6.2. But we got to start at the ground level, right? 5.0 versus 5.3. Now, both of these trucks do have the 10-speed automatic transmission, 323 gears in the Chevrolet, 373 in the Ford, and obviously GM tuning versus Ford's tuning. And we're going to be swapping back to the stock wheel and tire setup because I don't want people in the comments complaining about the aftermarket wheels and tires being heavier than each other. Both trucks do have a leveling kit and a catback exhaust, but no performance mods. So let's go ahead and swap back to the factory wheels and tires, get these two trucks out, and see how they compare. Well, they definitely don't look as good anymore, but I think this is going to be the most fair way to do this test. So beforehand, the Chevy was definitely more at a disadvantage with the 22s rather than the 20s that were on the Ford, whereas now we got the stock 18s on there, and the Ford has stock 20s, which the tires are like 33 inches tall on here, and they're like 32 inches tall here. Both of them pretty worn out, so don't expect too much in two-wheel drive. Obviously, four-wheel drive will cure any of the traction issues, but I guess we're going to start off with a Chevrolet, take it out, see what the 5.3 can put down. We'll come back, see how the 5.0 stacks up. Hey guys, so we're going to do two different runs, one in two-wheel drive, sport mode, traction control off, the second one in four-wheel drive, sport mode, traction control off, and see what the best numbers we can come up with. It's funny, I'm running around with this thing in sport mode, and it's nowhere near as aggressive as the Ford is in just standard drive. Like, the Fords just come naturally super aggressively tuned. All right, first run in the Chevy, sport mode, traction control off, two-wheel drive. We're just gonna jab it. I'm gonna let off the throttle and jab it. That seems to be the way that Chevrolets like to launch rather than building up some RPM like the Ford. So if you think I should have done it the other way, comment down below, but here we go. Spin before the G80 hit.
60.
All right.
30.
It's a pretty good spin before the G80 hit.
60.
So 0 to 60 in 7.3.
60.
Not the best, definitely not the best. Big thing with the Ford, if you don't have that rear locker engaged, it just kind of picks and chooses what it feels like lighting up, unlike the G80 that'll kick in and lock them both in. So first run with a Chevy, two-wheel drive, what was it, 7.3? We'll take it. Let's see what it does in four-wheel drive. All right, 4 high, sport mode, traction control off, let off the brakes, stomp on it. Hope all goes good and see if we can beat 7.3. Let's do it.
30.
Much better.
60.
6.8. Much better.
60.
6.8. Oh man, this thing needs a pulsar for sure to get some more hit off the bottom. But 6.8, definitely better than the 7.3. We're gonna rerun the two-wheel drive by spooling it up some, just because I know there's gonna be people in the comments saying you should have done it this way. So for those people, I'm gonna let it spool up. I say spool up, build a little bit of power off the brake, and then launch it and see if we can do any better. Maybe it'll hook, not have the extra strain of four-wheel drive, and maybe we can do better than the 6.8. All right, let's build some power, two-wheel drive, see what she does.
30.
Lit the tires up, pulling hard though.
60.
All right, let's build some power, two-wheel drive, see what she does.
30.
Lit the tires up, pulling hard though.
60.
straight boiled the tires. That was good. I can't even see what that was, but we'll see if it was better or worse. Probably was going to be worse because it spun worse, but it felt better to me. So anyways, that's going to be the final runs in the Chevrolet. Let's go hop in the Ford, see what it can do. All right, in the F-150, we're doing two-wheel drive sport mode, traction control off. Hopefully it doesn't just completely obliterate the tires and get a terrible time, but I'm predicting it probably will. Let's find out. On a terrible time. A terrible spinning time. Next day, same temperature, more wind, traction off, four-wheel drive, sport mode. Let's see what the Ford can do. Oh my gosh.
30. 60.
You can't complain with that, dude. That's freaking scooting for a stock truck.
30.
Pretty good spin.
60. 60.
Oh my gosh.
30. 30.
Much better.
60. 60.
6.8. It is so funny to me how these tires just lay some patches down. So I don't know about y'all, but I had an absolute blast taking both of these amazing trucks out and seeing what they were capable of. And I'm sure I could get better times with each one of them, but at the end of the day, the 5-liter is still gonna be much quicker than the 5.3, but don't discredit the 5.3. It's a great engine, and paired with a 10-speed, it is a very enjoyable truck, and I think most people would absolutely love this thing. Obviously, if you're wanting something faster, the 5-liter is definitely a good option, or you could just get the 6.2, because I absolutely loved my 6.2 in my Trail Boss, and it felt very on par with the 5.0 as far as the engine goes. Now, the driving habits between the two trucks and my old 6.2 is incredibly different. This comes extremely sporty feeling, and this comes extremely chill or calm, or I don't even know. This thing just is really aggressively tuned from the factory, and it really always wants to go, whereas this thing can be a little boring, a little lame. It's just more comfortable and chill and laid back. And the Ford is just like, I'm ready to go, bro. I'm ready to freaking go, hit the gas. It's funny because this thing in sport mode is nowhere near as aggressive as this thing in just normal mode. So if this could be dialed back in normal mode but keep the super aggressive feel in sport mode, I honestly think I would prefer that. But also on the same spectrum, I think this should be way more aggressive in sport mode than it is. It doesn't really change that much. So kind of two different worlds, even if they are like performance wise a good bit different, but just the overall feel, because my 6.2 was just like this as far as being very calm and chill and, you know, almost underwhelming until you floored it, and then it came alive like the 5-liter, but you really had to get into it. So it's just weird, the two different tuning types. And like I said, the 5-liter is just very aggressively tuned, but both the trucks absolutely amazing. Long live the V8. glorious sounds throughout this entire video. Can't go wrong with that. But yeah, just a fun video comparing them. Like I said, 5.0, good bit faster, feels a lot faster, but not everybody's into fast. But if you're watching this video, you were curious of it. So there you go, 5.0 versus 5.3. There's your answer. Hopefully you did enjoy. Comment down below, let me know, and look forward to 5.0 versus 6.2. It's coming soon. I'll see y'all in the next one.